guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing a book called Echoes by Margaret McHeyzer. So here is the cover. It's absolutely stunning. And Margaret and I are actually friends, love her to bits, and so I was blessed enough to get an art copy of this book. And unfortunately I had a lot of things happening, and so I only could read a couple of pages, and it's just released this week. So I went, yep, let's do it. I need to get my review up. I really want to read this book. And I regret not finding the time to read it sooner. This book is phenomenal, and I'm not going to give too many spoilers away because there's one specific thing that I am not allowed to say, and I'm not going to. But this book has so many elements to it. It's based on the main character, Molly. You go through her story of being an adopted child, and she went into her new family at 7 and met her adoptive sister. She was also adopted and they became best friends. So it's kind of like those two being thick as thieves. They have the same birthday and they're very opposite. Molly is very reserved, very sassy, very, let's say yang, whereas her sister is very yin. And she's very bright and she's very bubbly and she's very out there and says it how it is. So it starts off with Molly basically running into this boy, or should I say man, Dylan, because Molly's only 18 and Dylan is many years older, and her starting her first great big love, let's say. And it's very sweet and it's beautiful, and he takes the steps to really accommodate her because she's never done anything with any guys, and it starts off very, very nice. So it kind of builds up to this, and then Molly starts seeing a white buddy and all these traumas start coming about, and you realize that Molly doesn't know much about before she was 7, before she was adopted into her previous family. And what triggers her to start recalling these things is, and I can't, again, there is a certain thing I cannot give away right now, but it's basically this whole emotional roller coaster with Molly and her family. But then it also triggers Molly's trauma. So this whole story is based on her dealing with the things that happened to her as a child. And it is very graphic in some sense. This does talk about pedophilia. So she was affected when she was a child. And it's a lot to think about in it, and you see as she unravels and basically her whole world comes tumbling apart, trying to get Molly the best help that she can as she tries to cipher through all these different emotions of all the hurt, of trying to find this man and put him behind bars, and also balancing a relationship in that, a fresh relationship where, you know, Dylan is so perfect in many ways, and she tries to let him go, she tries to free him, and he just wants no bar of it. He wants to be there with her, he wants to be her support. And it's very interesting to watch the balance of her juggling so many things. She's getting the proper help that she needs, and she's discussing the things that she went through, dealing with a new relationship and how to progress in that. And it's just, Margaret's writing is beautiful in so many ways, and I've read her previous work before, and she does so much research to really do these books justice. And you can tell how much research has gone into this, how much love has gone into this. I know Margaret 110% believes that this is her best book yet, and I absolutely agree with that because I couldn't put it down. I really couldn't. I read it all of yesterday. I was curled up on the couch. I was curled up in my bed. I was in the bath for 2 hours. I came out all wrinkly just to finish this book because I wanted to know what happened. And I just think there's so many elements in this, and it's so very important. And the thing I love the most in this book is the character development. You go from Molly being a very reserved, very sort of sassy young girl, and then when everything breaks apart, you literally see her at her lowest point that she will ever be. And because of Margaret's writing, because it's so in-depth and it's so beautiful, you feel like you are Molly at the time, and going through all those different emotions, those ups and downs, you know, the thoughts of suicide, the thoughts of how am I going to deal with this, the thoughts of I'm disgusting and I'm gross, I did this to myself, the conversations that she's having with her therapist. It's very intense. The whole time is intense, but it's worth it. And I recommend this to everyone to read, because when she goes through her darkest moments and then you see her slowly build up and she comes to terms with the things that she needs to, and she learns that she needs to be strong for herself, and although there's others to support her and to be with her, it's her personal growth and journey as well, and she really does build the courage to fight back against a predator when she thought as a child maybe she should have done something else, or maybe something else should have been done, and she was a child and she couldn't, and now she's finding her voice. So it's really interesting to see somebody who was a victim find their voice in such a intense situation as well as new relationship. There is, as I said, there is a massive twist on this book that I cannot say. I'm not allowed. Margaret has slapped me on the wrist and said, no way are you allowed to add that in. But all of this stuff I've just told you is massive, but it's not even the main point of this book. You need to read this. I can 120% guarantee you, you have never read a book like this. Just grab a copy. You will not be disappointed. I obviously give it a 5 out of 5. I give it a 10 out of 5. I give it 100. I love this book. And even when I was partway through it, I was about 75%, and I just kept saying in the back of my head, I already want to reread this book. And I do not get that often with books. But I've already got my signed copy on its way. I want a copy on my shelf. She's amazing. This book's phenomenal. Make sure you grab a copy if you really want your eyes to be opened on something you've never read before. And again, I cannot tell you what it is, but when you read it and you clue on, your mind is going to be blown. Well guys, grab a copy. Links are below, and I hope you enjoyed this chat. See you later, bye. Now, thank you for staying tuned all the way through to the end of my review. Because I love this book so much, and I love Margaret, and I support her and her writing career 120%, I would like to offer a paperback copy of Echo. So it's a little competition. I've only got one copy and it's for international. So all you have to do to enter is comment below. Give me whatever you like. If you subscribe, hey, brownie points, I'd really appreciate that. Stay tuned. But yeah, if you want your chance to win a copy of Echo, then just comment below. I will be announcing the winner on the 15th of June 2020. So stay tuned to see if you're the lucky winner. And even if you don't win, copy of this book. You'll never regret it.